Welcome to the Purposeful and Profitable Podcast. We are now at episode 11. I'm Yvonne A. Jones, and today we are going to be discussing the power of a steady presence, why clients trust those who lead without noise. So, as we explore this quiet but powerful principle, let's look at how this shapes every relationship you build in business. What are we talking about? The power of a steady presence. This is especially relevant during seasons when life picks up the pace, routines shift, and time feels stretched. But here's what I want you to hear. Your business does not need more noise. Your clients don't want more noise either. What they need is you, steady, present, and anchored in what matters. So let's talk about what that looks like in practical, purposeful ways and why steadiness builds trust. We hear a lot about attention spans getting shorter, and it seems that the world rewards speed. And many entrepreneurs equate movement with progress. The truth is, trust isn't created through urgency or constant activity. Trust grows through emotional consistency, clear communication, presence without pressure, and the quiet confidence that you're not here to perform, but to serve. And a steady presence reassures people that you can count on me. I don't disappear when things get full. I don't show up only when it's convenient. I'm here consistently, even in the small ways. This steadiness is magnetic, and your audience can feel it even through a simple post, an email, or a comment. Let me share a little bit about my own journey from hustle to presence. That taught me this lesson the hard way. Now, when I first got my online business up and running, I felt that always needed to be on. I thought I needed to reply to every comment or social media post promptly, sometimes within minutes. Every email felt urgent. I had no boundaries around my time or energy. And here's what's ironic. As I began working with clients and they would share these same concerns with me, feeling overwhelmed, constantly reactive, struggling to set boundaries, I realized I was modeling the exact behavior I knew would lead to burnout. I was living in hustle mode while coaching others towards sustainability. And that wake up call changed everything. When I began setting those boundaries for myself, something shifted. I could help my clients see why this was so important, not from theory, but from my own lived experience. Because here's what I discovered. Hustle might create short-term momentum, but it leads to long-term burnout. A steady presence says something different. It says, I'm here for you, not because I'm scrambling to keep up, but because I've built a foundation that allows me to show up with intention. And that's what creates trust. So, how does stillness sharpen your leadership? There's a myth out there that you must be on all the time to be successful. That creates reactivity, not leadership. When you slow your internal pace, even if the world around you is moving fast, you give yourself the gift of clarity, better decision making, deeper listening, and emotional resilience. You see, calm is not passive, it's strategic and it's intentional, and it allows you to lead from wisdom, not overwhelm. And one of the things that I tell my clients all the time is this: you cannot lead others from a rushed mind, but you can inspire them from a calm one. So, what does a steady presence look like in your business? It doesn't mean showing up everywhere. It doesn't mean pushing yourself beyond your boundaries because you must have those in place. Instead, a steady presence looks like one thoughtful post that speaks to your ideal client's real challenge. And it will mean more to them because it lands with intention. Another way, it might be one meaningful comment on someone's content that shows you actually read what they wrote and you care about their success. Or it could mean one email that connects. Maybe it's your newsletter that arrives consistently, or a follow up that shows you remembered a conversation from 2 weeks ago. And it may also be just one small action that honors your reader, your client, or who you're becoming, like blocking off time in your calendar to think strategically instead of just reacting. So let me give you a quick example of that. I have a client who used to post on LinkedIn every single day. She felt exhausted and invisible despite her attempts to be there every day, to show up every day. Now, when we shifted her approach to 3 deeply intentional posts per week, ones that told stories, asked meaningful questions, and invited real conversation, her engagement tripled. Now, it wasn't because she was doing more, but it was because her presence became magnetic instead of rushed. It was intentional. And these seemingly small touch points carry extraordinary influence because people remember those who stay consistent even when life gets full. So I want you to remember this. Your most loyal clients don't choose you because you're the loudest or the busiest. They choose you because your message resonates, your presence feels safe, your leadership feels grounded, and your energy creates clarity rather than pressure. You see, a steady presence invites people in. It reassures them. It makes you someone they turn to repeatedly, not because you shout the loudest, but because you lead with emotional intelligence. This is the kind of presence that transforms followers into clients and clients into long term partners. So, I have an invitation for you this week. Here's what I'd like you to consider. Where can you choose steadiness instead of speed this week? Maybe it's one post, one connection, or one message delivered with intention. Whatever it is, let it be real. Let it reflect the kind of leader that you're becoming. Your presence matters, and when you lead without noise, you create space for others to build trust. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, Yvonne, this resonates deeply, I want more of this kind of guidance in my business, I have something for you. Every Sunday, I send out my Heart Connection newsletter. It's a weekly dose of insights, strategies, and encouragement designed specifically to help mature entrepreneurs stay visible, deepen relationships, and grow with intention, not hustle. So, if what we've talked about today speaks to you, I think you love what I share in that newsletter each week. You can subscribe at YvonneAJones.com. That's Yvonne spelled with a Y, YVONNE, A Jones, JONES.com / the letter H C dash newsletter. So that's HC dash newsletter. And I'll see you in your inbox this Sunday. Now, thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode supported you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend or colleague who might need this reminder right now. And as always, thank you for being part of this community of relationship driven entrepreneurs who are building with purpose and heart. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode.